Jai Jinendra.
जय जैनेन्द्र।
जय जिनेन्द्र सर।
जय
हरि
जैनेन्द्र।
हरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नवाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। So today we are going to study lesson number 9, Devagam Stotra, Apt Mimansa. Its other name is Apt Mimansa. Very nice scripture. It is written by Acharya Samandbhadra. Samandbhadra is famous just because he has got a great logic power. And with his logic power, he defeated people of other faiths and converted those people into Jainism. So he has done a great job and he has written great scriptures. He was here in the second century, long back ago, 1800 years ago he was here, and he has written this Apt Mimamsa. The other scripture which is famous for is Ratnakaran Sravakachar. That also is very good. Okay. And we have read about him in Vitrag Vigyan 2, chapter 2. So I'm not repeating his introduction again. But why this scripture was written, Devagam Stotra, why it was written? You know, Bhaktamar Stotra. In Bhaktamar Stotra, the first word is Bhaktamar. In Kalyan Stotra, the first word is Kalyan Stotra. Similarly, in Devagam Stotra, the first word is Devagam. Okay. So this is how the name used to come earlier. The subject matter of this scripture is to clarify the chief characteristics of the Apt. Now, who is Apt? Can anybody tell me who is Apt? Apt is a Hindi word.
Sir, Apt is God, and what is the meaning of Mimamsa?
Mimamsa means discussion.
Okay.
आप्त के बारे में चर्चा होगी इसमें, इसलिए आप्त मीमांसा. So the nature of God, you must understand, if you don't understand the nature of God, how God is, how he became God, what are his characteristics, what he is doing and what he cannot do, all these things, if you have clarity in your mind, then only you will be able to this knowledge clearly. Okay. So my first question is, this is one of the important topic in Jainism. So my question is, why it is so important? Why to know the nature of God is important in Jain philosophy? Any answers?
Because probably the purpose of Jainism is to make us God. So probably we have to know what is the nature of God to understand what is our purpose.
Very good, very good. Anyone else? Good try, Malti ji.
Sir, only a true God can tell us the true path to liberation. So we first have to understand who is a true God, and then we will have to seek his discourses and to follow his path, and then we can ourselves become God. So first step is to identify who is a God.
Right, very good, good logic. Anyone else? Okay. So this Jain philosophy is based on this god, Apt. Okay. And who is Apt, that we are coming on to later on. But the important thing is that if we don't believe in the Apt or the god, okay, then whatever has been depicted in Jain philosophy is based on that only. Why there are 6 substances and not 7 substances? Why there are 7 fundamentals and not 8 fundamentals? All these questions, there is no logic behind those. It is just that the God has seen them and he has told us in his divine knowledge, Divya Dvani. The Tirthankar has seen this, and in his Divya Dvani, he has given all these details. 6 substance and whatever we know in terms of Jainism, everything has come from his sermon. Okay. So he is the basis of Jainism. Whatever we know in terms of religion in Jainism is based on his sermon. So first we have to know him. If we don't know him clearly, then we will not be able to have a belief on his sermons.
मैं ऐसे कहूँगा.
Science can contradict, that who has seen God. There are many questions for people who have a background of science. They don't believe in God, So proving of God, okay. So it's in Hindi we call it as sarvagnata, okay. So sarvagnata ki siddhi karna hai. That is the main topic in this scripture, Apt Mimansa. So Apt has been discussed from many parameters, So everything and whatever we can prove logically. It is not that I am telling you that he is Apt, you believe it. Here the author Acharya Samanbhadra has given different logics to make you believe that this person is Apt and why he is Apt and what we should do as a seeker from him. All these questions are answered in this scripture, and this scriptures contains 114 verses. How many? 114 verses, 114 verses, out of which in this chapter we are going to discuss first 16 verse. And in this first 16 verse, 3 principles of Jainism has been explained. The first one is about the omniscience, right? The second one is about 4 absence, 4 non-existence, 4 abhav, which we have already studied, right? And pragbhav, pradvansa bhav, anyonya bhav, and atyanta bhav. That has also been discussed here. And the third topic, which is again very important, and where we are going to study about it in the 4th sem in detail, is the Saptabhangi, 7-fold predication. Okay. So these are the 3 main topics covered in the first 16 verse. Okay. And that is what is part of our syllabus in this chapter. Okay. But the scripture has having 114 verse. So it's just an introductory thing that they have done. And based on that, they are inducing you to study the whole scriptures. All the things that has been introduced in Vitrag Vigyan 1, 2, 3 and Tattva Gyan 1, 2 are like that. They just show you a clip of the scripture. And based on that clip or the interest that you develop, you go on to read the entire scripture. Okay. That is the idea. Okay. And we will be covering the whole fundamentals that are required to understand Jainism in the first 2 years. Okay. So after 2 years, the next 3 years will be in practicing to teach you how to read the scriptures. You already know the base. With first 2 years study, you will know the base. Okay. The fundamentals will be in place. Now the next 3 years will be a practice how to understand the scriptures and how to derive at the principles from the scriptures. Okay. So it's all very absorbing and interesting study for the next 5 years for all of you. We are almost at the end of the first year Okay, having covered 2 sems. Okay, and last week I gave you 3 questions on Viva. Out of that, third questions deal with this chapter. Okay, Devagam Stotra, wherein we are going to prove Sarvagnata. Okay, so there are 2 components to prove Sarvagnata. First is that we have to prove the existence of omniscience, and that is called the general proof of omniscience. That there exists a knowledge called omniscience, who knows everything of all the 3 times, past, present, future, in the same moment. Okay, that much is the power of omniscience knowledge, and we are all having that power within us. Okay, only we have to initiate the process so that we also become omniscience one day. Okay, so it is not that we don't have the power. Each and every soul of this universe is having the same power. Okay, only thing is that those who accept it, those who study, and those who try to manifest it are able to manifest it, and they get liberated. And rest of the people will keep on wandering in this universe as we have been doing from time immemorial. Okay, it is not that the there is a beginning to a soul. Soul is there since eternal. Okay, it has not a beginning, it has got no beginning and no end. It never takes birth and it never dies. It is there eternally. Okay, so you have 2 choices. Either you keep on wandering in the 4 state of existence and keep on suffering from miseries, because all the 4 states of existence, like human, subhuman, hell, and heaven, these are the 4 states of existence, and in all these 4 states there are different kinds of miseries that a soul suffers, And what is the way out? The way out is to break this cycle of birth and death and get liberated. Okay, so our all objective, our all endeavor is to liberate ourselves, and that is why the foundation, the name of the foundation is Learn to Liberate. The name of the foundation which conducts this course, Paramadam Honors course, is Learn to Liberate. You have to learn to liberate. Okay, and once you are liberated, you will never again come back. Then you may wonder what will happen to our family, our kids, our parents, my wealth, whatever, right? So those will remain here. And it is not the first time that we have got a family. We have got family infinite times. Okay, this is not something new that we have got, but this is something new that you are going to study to get yourself liberated. So be very serious, take it very seriously, and you are going to have a very good time going ahead. Okay, the more you clearly understand it, the more you will be able to apply it in your day-to-day life, and the more you will be able to enjoy. Okay, so with that objective in mind, we are studying this Paramagam Honors course, and today this chapter of Sarvagna Siddhi, the proof of omniscience. Okay, it's one of the very, very important topic, because based on this only you will be able to believe in the principles that have been emanated from the sermons of the God, that is Tirthankar, Arihant. Okay, now we were talking about Apt, right? So Apt, there are 3 major qualities of Apt. Can anyone name what is the 3 major qualities of Apt? Apt means Aryant or Apt means Tirthankar. Okay. Only condition is that Apt is with body. Okay. Whereas the liberated soul, see the Bhagwan, they don't have a body. So for to be apt, you need to have a body and the voice. Okay. So there are three qualities. The first one is complete detachment, vitrakta. The second one is complete knowledge, which is called omniscience. Okay. That is called sarvagnata. The third one is hitopdeshi. Hitopdeshi means preacher for the welfare of all the souls. Not only human, but all the souls of the universe are being benefited by the preachings of the omniscient. Omniscient. Okay. Omniscient being is God, Aryant, Tirthankar. Okay. So Tirthankars have these special 46 qualities. The ordinary Aryans don't have those 46 qualities, but nevertheless, both are in the 13th stage of spiritual development. Okay. Which stage they are in? 13. So when they reach 12th, when they reach 4, they manifest right belief. When they reach 12th, they manifest complete detachment. And when they reach 13th, they develop complete knowledge. Okay. So this is the journey. And then after the 14th, they get liberated. So easy. From 1st to 14th, the journey is very easy because everywhere you have to take shelter of your soul. Okay. The journey begins with the shelter of the soul. The journey continues with the shelter of the soul, and the journey ends with the shelter of the soul. Okay. So this is the underlying theme, how to get yourself liberated. To get yourself liberated, the beginning would be by taking shelter of your soul. By taking shelter of your soul means what? By believing that I am the soul. I am the perfect soul. I am the pure soul. Okay. Now, if you believe in it, then you will become liberated. You will be liberated one day. Okay. But if you don't believe it, then the journey doesn't start. So first and foremost, we have to have this belief that I am the pure soul. And who told you that you are the pure soul? The omniscience told us that each soul is a pure soul. Okay. प्रत्येक आत्मा परमात्मा है. Each soul is a supreme soul. Okay. So this is what the omniscience has said about us. And if we believe in it, if we accept it, if we believe in it, we are going to become one like that. Okay. So it is very important to know the nature of omniscience. Okay. Omniscience is the knowledge, complete knowledge, and it is the foundation of Jain's philosophy. It begins with the sermons of the omniscience and ends with the seeker becoming an omniscient himself. Such a nice journey that it begins with the sermons of the omniscient and it ends with the seeker, okay, becoming omniscient himself. Now, everywhere in the world, they will tell you that we will make you Bhakt. But nobody said that you will become Bhagwan. You can become Bhagwan. Nobody says this. It is only our omniscience. It is only our omniscience, omniscient being that they tell us that you are a God like myself. Okay. So this is the confidence they instill on us to walk on this path and get liberated. So they are there during the initial period, they are there during the middle journey, and they are there during our end also. So they are a good support system for all of us. So when I say support, do they support us? So then how it is? Jia? You try. How it is? Do the gods support us? Just now I said they are a great support to us. So what does that mean? They are a great support to us. They have shown us the path of liberation. Okay. So how they support us? One substance cannot do anything of the other substance. That is the principle. Now, this principle is quite contradictory to what I am saying, right? So how is it that possible, that how they are going to help us, how they are going to support us, how they are going to propel us to get into this path of liberation?
They can't directly support us.
Then
We get inspired by them in their paths,
hmm,
and that's how, like, their preachings also help us. But
right.
it's just us getting inspired by them and their journey. And when you go to the temple, you look at the murti and you get inspired. Something happens internally to you. So
Hmm,
that's how they support us indirectly.
hmm,
They can't, yeah,
very good.
answer
Very
this.
good try.
Yeah.
You have given a very logical answer. It means that if we follow the preachings of the God, then we become God ourselves. And when we become God ourselves, then we say that they are the instrumental cause. They support us, they help us. All these statements are conventional statement. Okay. So when we absorb their message, we adapt to their instructions, we walk on the path shown by them. That is the way of taking help from them. Okay. So it is like that. So it begins with the sermons of the omniscient, and you end up being one omniscient yourself. Okay. So whatever is being said in terms of Jain philosophy, everything can be proved. Everything, each and everything cannot be proved without the saying that they were seen by the omniscient in their divine knowledge. Okay. So whatever has come to us in terms of scriptures is all from their sermons. Okay. So they are the support. So they are the base of this Jainism. And now we need to prove that there exists knowledge called omniscience. That is the first part. And the second part is that this particular person is omniscient. Okay. So two things we are going to prove. The first one is the general proof of omniscience. And the second one is the specific proof of omniscience. So in the scriptures, okay, now why the scriptures was written, that is very interesting. I'll make you a co-host. Jia, you are there in the class throughout? Okay,
Yeah,
good, good, good. You can share the page number 59. The last two paragraph, we will start from there. The subject matter of the stotra. Stotra means Devagam Stotra. Okay, written by Acharya Samanbhadra, is to clarify the chief characteristics of the apt in the style of adoration verses. Okay, so this is a stuti. It is a stuti. It is a kind of prayer. Okay, and in that prayer, it has been logically proved that there exists a omniscience knowledge and there exists a being who is having that knowledge. Okay, so both of these we will prove, and then when the next time you go to the temple to see the God, at that time this all the meanings that you are going to learn today, you will have in your mind at that point of time, and you will realize that earlier you were also seeing that same pratima, and now also you are seeing that same pratima, but there will be a lot of difference in the manifestation that you will have just by understanding the nature of the omniscience. Okay. So what they have done that we should know to have their importance in our life. Okay. So this chief characteristics of in the style of adoration verses. This has been written as an irony, Vyanga. Acharya Vidyanandi writes explaining the irony. It is as if Bhagwan or Apt, God himself asked Samanbhadra why Acharya Uma Swami in his great scripture Tattvat Sutra, slightly below, Tattvat Sutra, has adored him without describing his great attributes, when such attributes are present in countless numbers. Okay. So in the first benediction of Tattvat Sutra, these three qualities of the God has been described. Okay. So what are these three qualities? The first one is complete detachment, vitrakta. It can also be said as complete passionlessness. The second is sarvagnata, that is omniscience. And the third is hitopdeshi. Okay. Preachings for the welfare of the living beings. Okay. So when we say living beings, means living beings of all the four states of existence. Okay. Even the plants are included in the subhuman state. Animals and plant are included in subhuman state. We are into human state. Then there are beings in the heaven and there are beings in the hell. Okay. So all these four states of existence. Samanbhadra wrote this Devagam Stotra to answer to this question. Okay. So now there are 16 words. We will be doing one at a time. The first one, I'm not reading the Sanskrit one because anyway we are going to understand in English. So I'm directly taking the meaning. Okay. Oh God, you are not great in my vision only on account of the facts that, number one, gods from the heaven come to have your darshan. Okay, Devagaman. Devagaman means coming. Okay, and who are coming? The gods, those heavenly beings. They come to have your darshan. Okay, they come here to have darshan of the God. Okay, the second point, that you move in the sky. Okay, those who are God, they move into the sky. Okay, their legs don't touch the ground. They are always 4 feet above the ground and they keep on traveling in that manner. They have the special attributes in them. That you move in the sky, and number 3, and that you are adorned with whisks and divine umbrellas. Okay, etc. etc. is missing. You can add up. Okay, and that you are adorned with whisks and divine umbrella. Now, what is this whisks? It is called chamvar. You know, behind the god there is a chamvar. And divine umbrellas is chhatra. The one above the head of the god is called the divine umbrellas. So etc. etc. means they are total 8 in numbers. So first one is whisk or chamvar. The second one is chhatra, divine umbrellas. The third one is dudumbi. The fourth one is bhamandal, at the back of the god, wherein anybody coming to the Samosaran and looking at that bhamandal, he can know his previous 3 births and his next 3 births. Okay. So if you go to the Samosaran and you see that bhamandal, in that bhamandal, your past 3 lives will be reflected. What you were before, what you were before that, what you were before that, and what you would be in the next 3 births. Okay. So that is Bhamandal. Then there is Sinhasan. Sinhasan is the throne on which the God sits. Okay. Then there is a Kalpa Vriksh. The tree above the God is called the Kalpa Vriksh. Okay. Whatever you go and think there, you will get. Then there is another attribute called Divya Dhvani, the divine sound. Okay. That is also very unique. It emanates from the whole body of the God. It doesn't emanates from the mouth. Okay. It comes out from the whole body. And people, all the living beings who are there in the Samosaran, they understand it in their own language. Okay. So Bhagwan's divine sound is Divya Dhvani, Om, Omkarmayi Divya Dhvani, Om only. And every living being who is present in the Samosaran, of course, the hellish beings are not there, but other 3 states, the human, the subhuman, and the heavenly beings are there, and they understand in their own language. That is the uniqueness of the divine sound. And the last one is Pushpa Vrishti. Okay. So these are the eight. These are the 8 special attributes of the omniscient God. Okay. Who is in the 13th stage.
This is the Pratiharya.
Pratiharya. Yeah. 8 Pratiharyas. 8 Pratiharyas. Right. For all these are seen in an elusive beings also. Okay. So, oh God, you are not great in my vision, because the gods the gods of heaven comes to you for darshan. You are not great in my thought because you move in the sky, and you are not great because you are adorned with these 8 special pratiharyas. For all these are seen in an elusive being also. Elusive being, who is this elusive being? They are not God, but they themselves believe to be God. And these are some of the extra attributes that they have manifested. Okay. And people fall prey to this outer magnificence that they have, and they believe them to be God, but they are not God. That is why it is written that they elusive being. Okay. So there is an illusion about their nature. Okay. They are not the saints in the real sense, but they have adorned, they have worn the dresses of a saint. Okay. They believe themselves to be saint, and people fall prey to this, and they don't reach to the actual God that is being described here. Okay. Those who are completely detached, those who are omniscient, and those who are preaching for the welfare of the people. Okay. So this was the first verse. Yeah.
So what is Dudumbi?
Dudumbi is a instrument of sound. You know, in the modern times we have drums. So it's a kind of drum. It's a kind of drum which when played looks so pleasant to our ear. So when the God is there in the Samosaran, up to some Jojan, it's a very big area, nobody will have any kind of diseases. Nobody will have any kind of enmities. You know, even the lion and the cow sit together in the Samosaran and they listen to the sermons. That is the influence of the divine sound of the God. That much influence, you know. So they have.
Sorry.
I have the English names for 8 of these Pratiharya. I will send in the group. Okay. Right now I have to check it out, but it is there. Yeah. Any questions?
Sir,
that's
Pushpa Vrishti will be flower shower of flowers, no?
Which one?
Pushpa Vrishti.
So the flowers, like, yeah, there is a very good smell around in the Samosaran, and the flowers are also being showered there. Okay, that is called Pushpa Vrishti. So Chamvar, Chhatra, Dudumbi, Bhamandal, Sinhasan, Kalpavriksha, Divyadvani, Pushpa Vrishti. These are the 8 Pratiharyas. I will give the exact English name of all these.
Rajeshji.
Huh.
Why is Manekstam not in that list?
Manstam is there always in the Samosaran, and it is there in our temples also, but it is not a part of the 8 Pratiharyas because it is, I think, before reaching the Samosaran, it is there. It is not the
Okay.
part of the Samosaran. So the
External to
last
Samosharan.
week, last week, huh?
It is external to the Samosharan. It is on the
Yes.
periphery, but not in the.
Yeah. So that's how we last week we studied about Lord Mahavir, and in that Indrabhuti Gautam, the chief preceptor, as he entered the Samosaran, by seeing the Manstham only, his pride melted. And then he went on to become the chief preceptor. Okay. So it is outside the periphery of the holy assembly called Samosarana.
Got it.
So these 8 Pratiharyas, and then there are 42 special qualities. Okay. 10 are related to the birth, 10 are related to the omniscience knowledge, and 14 are related to the heavenly beings. Okay. The heavenly beings do some things for the God. So these 34 plus 8, these totals up to 42 qualities, special qualities. So these are all 42 external qualities. Then 4 internal qualities. What are these 4 internal qualities? Infinite knowledge, infinite perception, then Ananta Gyan, Ananta Darsan, Ananta Sukh, infinite bliss, and Ananta Virya, infinite power. So these 4 are only related to the soul, rest 42 are related to the body. Okay. So total 46 qualities of a Arihant. Okay. So these are only primarily for Tirthankar Arihant. Some ordinary Aryans don't have these qualities. Okay. So when we say 46 qualities, those are with the Tirthankar Arahant. Now coming on to the second verse, in the same manner, external and internal embellishments. Embellishments is the special 42 qualities that I said right now. Atishay, it is called Hindi. In Hindi, it is called Atishay. So there are 34 Atishay plus 8 Pratiharya, 42 plus 4 internal qualities. Okay. So that is coming to 46. In the same manner, external and internal embellishments of the physical form, etc., though not found in illusive beings, are found in heavenly beings, having attachment and other passions. On account of these, also, you cannot be great in my view. So the seeker is telling to the God that you are not great in my vision because you are having these special qualities, because some of these special qualities the heavenly beings also have, and some of these special qualities the illusive beings are also having this, but they are not the real God. Okay. They are being considered God by other people of other faith, but for us they are not God. Okay. They are all false gods. Okay. They fall into the category of false god. So why you are great then? Then we come to the third stanza. Okay. Because these heavenly beings, they also have some of these qualities, but they are having attachment and other passions, because they can maximum be at the fourth stage of spiritual development. A heavenly being cannot go beyond the fourth stage. Okay, that is the limitation of a heavenly being. Even a narky cannot go beyond fourth stage. Okay, it is only the human and the subhuman. So some of the subhumans who are with mind, they can go up to fifth stage. Okay, but humans can go up to the 14th stage. Okay. So those heavenly beings are having attachment and other kinds of passions. Okay. So they cannot be great in my vision. So why the God is great? The third stanza says that your greatness does not hold good because you are the basis of all scriptural knowledge that we discussed in the beginning only, and a propagator of the religion. Okay. So the Tirthankar is responsible for propagating the religion. So now we are all under the rule of Sri Mahavir Swami. The last Tirthankar is called the propagator. Okay. So when Mahavir Swami was not there, people who were at that time, they used to say, we are under the rule of Parsvanath Swami. Then when the next Tirthankar comes, then it is his rule that goes on. Okay. So you are a propagator of the religion, because there are many writers of religious scriptures and propagators of religious sects and communities, and the utterance of all these are generally mutually contradictory. So in the fourth stanza, why he is great, that will be answered. Here there is a third logic that is being given, that your greatness does not hold good because you are the basis of all scriptural knowledge. So whatever knowledge we have got has come from there. Because propagator of other religions, okay, writers of other religions also, they have written scriptural, they have written scriptures, and they also propagate their own faith, religious sects and communities. And the utterance of all these are generally mutually contradictory. So we have to differentiate between the gods, okay, between the heavenly gods and the gods that we believe in Jainism, because all these qualities can be had with some other. So we cannot make these qualities as the characteristics of God, okay, characteristics of a true God, because other gods are also having this kind of qualities. Okay. So that is not the case. Then what would be the basis of considering God? That is given in the fourth verse. O Lord, your greatness lies in omniscience and complete detachment, sarvagnata and vitragata. Omniscience and complete detachment are not impossible of achievement. Now he will be giving the logic. It is not impossible, right, to manifest this omniscience knowledge and to manifest this complete detachment. Why? My question is why? That will be answered in the next few lines. The complete elimination of delusion, that is moh, attachments, that is rag, and aversions, that is dvesh. So complete elimination of delusion, attachment, and aversions, and other blemishes, and non-existence of jnanavaran and other karmas are possible. Okay. So the complete elimination of delusion, attachments, aversions, and other blemishes. By telling other blemishes, what are the total blemishes are there? These are 18 in numbers. Okay. Shuddha, Trusha, and all. These are the 18 blemishes which Aryant doesn't have. And Aryant, and because they are devoid of these 18 blemishes, they have manifested complete detachment. Okay. So these are the 18. So this also I can share the 18 names. Okay. Shuddha, Trusha, Bhai, Jugupsa. There are many 18 blemishes. Okay. I will send the list of these and eight pratiharyas, both. Okay, in English. The complete elimination of delusion, attachment, and aversions and other blemishes. That is 18 dosh. Okay. These are the blemishes, those. And non-existence of Jnanavaran and other karmas are possible. Okay. We can completely eliminate the 8 karmas. This is quite possible because their progressive elimination is seen. Okay. So somebody have intense passion, somebody have mild passion. Okay. Somebody have somebody has great knowledge, somebody have less knowledge. So this knowledge keeps on increasing and decreasing, knowledge and other attributes, and this blemishes also keeps on increasing and decreasing. And with this logic, we can prove that, so this can completely eradicated also. When it can increase and decrease, then there can come a state where it is completely eliminated. This is the logic that is given here. Because their progressive elimination is seen. Just as in this world, now example is given. Just as in this world, impure gold stone with the help of fire becomes pure. Okay. Discarding all internal and external impurities. So when the gold comes out of the mines, there are gold mines. We have a gold mine in India, Kolar gold mine in Karnataka. Okay. So when the gold comes out of that mine, it is mixed with what? Impurities. Okay. Now, what are these impurities? These impurities are rocks, debris, and other metals. Okay. So when it is taken out from the mine, it is mixed with rocks, debris, and other metals. But with the process of purification, okay, by subjecting it to high temperatures, by heating it, okay, to high temperatures, it is possible to remove all impurities and have gold in its pure form. Okay. So gradually the carats keeps on increasing. First it is 14 carat, then 16 carat, then 18 carats, then 22 carats, and then the 24 carat. So 24 carat denotes complete purity. So the gold coins that we have, the gold bars that we have, those are 24 carat. And the jewelry we make are all of 22 carat. It's the maximum it can have is 22 carat because the jewelry needs molding, and while molding, they add other metals to it to have that molding stick to it. Okay. Otherwise, they will break. So these impurities has to be mixed in the pure gold to make these jewelries ornaments. Okay. So the gold in its pure form is 24 karat, and that it becomes pure by just heating. So when it is heated, the impurities goes on eliminating, and a time comes when it is completely pure, and that is the 24 karat gold. In the same way, with the fire of meditation, okay, So in the same way, with the fire of meditation of the pure operative consciousness, okay, in the same way with the fire of meditation, so when you are indulging in meditation, that is the time the soul gets purified. It is the only way by which a soul gets purified. Okay. So meditation would be our ultimate target. So first we acquire the knowledge, and after we acquire a certain level of knowledge, we can sit for meditation. Okay. And visualize the soul in our knowledge. Okay. And we can meditate on that. We can concentrate on that. And when we concentrate on that, the passions does not arise only. And that is the way to destroy the passions and other impurities. Okay. Similarly, as we have done with gold, similarly, when the soul, with the fire of meditation of the pure operative consciousness, that is active consciousness, that is upyog. Okay, so when you take your upyog towards your soul and concentrate in that, it is called meditation. And with this meditation, a soul can be free from its blemishes and becomes omniscient and completely detached. Very small process, very easy process. Okay, you have to just concentrate on yourself. And by concentrating on yourself, all the karmas, the dravya karma, the bhav karma, the no karma, everything will get destroyed. And that is how the Aryant state has come into being. Okay. So these Aryant also were like us. Okay. But they went through this process in the path of liberation by meditating. They kept on climbing the stairs of spiritual development. And in that journey, they attain the 13th stage, which is the state of omniscient and omniscience and completely detachment. Okay. So this is how they have manifested. Now, the next paragraph, the fifth one. Now, the main topic of this, the general proof of omniscience, okay, that is being started. From the fifth verse. Very small atoms, suksham, okay, very small atoms, suksham. Then second one is internal attachments. You can see here internal attachments, okay, etc. You cancel that whole, okay. It's a printing mistake. Actually, in Hindi, it was mal. 1 minute. In Hindi, what it is, I'll tell you the exact word. It was rag. Okay. Raga. So that's why it is written internal attachments. But the exact word is not rag. It is Ram. Okay. So Ram, Ravan, Mahapadma. Okay. All these are characters who were here. They are now quite far from the present time. Okay. So they wanted to written Ram Adik, Ram, etc. So that would be Ram, Ravan, Mahapadma. Ram and Ravan are in the past. They have already become, they are already a part of the past time. And Mahapadma is going to be a Tirthankar in the next 24 Tirthankar here in Bharat Kshetra. The soul of Shrenik Maharaja, who is now in the Narak, hell. First, he is now in the 7th hell. Okay. will become Tirthankar in the next 24 Tirthankars that is coming up, and he will become the first Tirthankar by the name of Mahapadma. So that is future. Okay. So the objects which are far from the present time, that could be past objects also, and that could be future objects also. Okay. So you correct this: very small atoms, etc., comma, internal attachments. Cancel that and write far from present time objects, etc. The third, and distant substances. Okay. So distant objects from the time and distant substances from the space point of view. And distant substances like Mount Meru. Okay. So these are called Durvarti Padarth. Mount Meru are the objects of vision of some being. Okay. So the first one is atoms, that is Parmanu, Suksham Parmanu. Yeah, I'm coming to the explanation. Just wait, I'm explaining the three words very nicely. Okay. So the first one is very small atoms. Okay. Parmanu. Atoms means Parmanu. Parmanu is the basis of what we see around us. Okay. All those are a cluster of Parmanu, like our laptop. So laptop is not one atom. It is a cluster of atom. Okay. And it is called Pudgal Skand. Parmanu is the smallest unit of Pudgal substance. And when it mixes with other atoms, they form a molecule, or what we call a matter substance, and that is of Pudgal Dravya. Okay. So very small atoms, etc. So our senses can know only the objects that are near to us, that are macroscopic, and in the present moment. Okay. Our limited knowledge of sensory and scriptural knowledge. Okay. We have Mati Shrut Gyan, and Mati Shrut Gyan operates through the medium of 5 senses and mind. Okay. And through that, we can know the objects that are near to us, that are macroscopic, very large kind of things, and in the present moment. Okay, those who are there in the present moment. The past also we cannot know, the future also we cannot know. Okay, and we can know what is near to us. If it is very far also, we don't know. If it is at the back of our head, we don't know. Okay, because we can only see in the front, right? So we have to remove our neck to see what is there in the back side, but we don't know it, right? We know only which we are near and which is in front of us. Okay, so it is a well-known fact. Our senses only knows the objects that are near, that are macroscopic in nature, and that are in the present moment. So to know the objects that are distant, very minute, and far from the present time. Okay, these three things: very minute or very subtle, suksham, like atoms, and far from the present time. Far from the present time, what example I gave? Ram, Ravan, and Mahapadma. Okay, Ram, Ravan are from the past. Ram Bhagwan was here when Muni Surat Nath Tirthankar was here, right? So it's quite a long ago. And Mahapadma is not here. It will be the first Tirthankar in the next 24 Tirthankars, in the series of next 24 Tirthankars. Okay. So these are far from the present time. And the third one is the distant object, like Meru mountain. Okay. Meru mountain. So what we use when we know all these things, how do we use? We use estimation. Okay. Now this estimation is a kind of right knowledge. Okay. It is not a guesswork. This estimation is based on the logics and it is the right knowledge. Okay. It is a part of the right knowledge. We use estimation called Anuman Gyan. Anuman Gyan. It is also called inference. Okay. Inference. Anuman Gyan, which is indirect knowledge. Okay. Now, the objects that are known by us indirectly can also be known by others directly. Okay. Now, if I tell you that there is a fire on the mountain, okay. Now, first we have established this principle that fire can only be there when there is the smoke can only be there when there is a fire. Okay. So the relation between smoke and fire has been established first. And now when I see fire on the mountain, I can say with that estimation that there is a fire there. Although I cannot see it through my eyes, but I can, through estimation, believe that there is a fire on the mountain by just looking at the smoke. Okay. So this is called the logic. Okay. Based on this logic, this knowledge of estimation has been derived. So it is not a guesswork. It is based on a very sound logic. Okay. So this is a part of right knowledge, indirect knowledge, praman gyan. Okay. So this is pratyaks. Praman are of two types, direct and indirect. Knowledge is of two types, direct knowledge and indirect knowledge. So this is a kind of indirect knowledge. Which one? The Anuman Gyan, estimation, inference. Okay. So there are four kinds of knowledge. Okay. This indirect knowledge. First one is smriti or memory. The second in the sequence is pratyabhigyan, connecting knowledge. Okay. The third one is tark. Tark means logic. And the fourth one is anuman. Anuman is estimation or inference. Okay. After this four stage, the next stage that comes is our self-realization. So whenever we get into self-realization, before that, these four knowledge, gradual development of these four kinds of indirect knowledge will happen. Okay.
So can you
Please,
explain?
sir,
So
repeat
what
this
is
for knowledge.
pratyabhig?
Yeah, one at a time.
Sorry, sir.
Rekha, yeah, tell.
Can you just repeat these four knowledges, sir?
Okay. Memory, smruti. In Hindi, it is called smruti. It is called memory. Then the second is pratyabhigyan, connecting knowledge. Okay. Then the third one is the logic or the tark, logic. And the fourth one is anuman gyan, estimation, inference. Okay. So these are the four steps. This we'll learn in Tattvat Sutra, but that will be in the 6th sem. Okay. So just wait. So
So one
Connecting
important
is in English.
pardon?
Connecting in English in Hindi, sir.
Pratyabhigyan. Pratyabhigyan.
Okay.
Pratyabhigyan is a connection between the present knowledge and the memory. Okay. So connection between present knowledge and memory. Now I'll give you one example of pratyabhigyan is that during rainy season we take umbrella along with us. Okay. So you went to a friend's place and you kept the umbrella at there, and then you had a talk with him. And when you came out, you forgot the umbrella. But while you were on the road and you saw the umbrella of another person, and you remember that, oh, I also forgot my umbrella.
Uh,
This is called connecting knowledge. So you have a memory plus the direct knowledge that you have. Okay.
Okay.
So both together is called connecting knowledge. So that is
Okay.
the second stage. Memory, connecting knowledge. The third is the logic, tark, and the fourth is the estimation or inference, anuman gyan. After this, the self-realization happens. Okay.
So one important question has been answered. So we always wonder कि ये सब इन लोगों को कैसे पता लगा था कि समोशरण ऐसा होता है. You know, it was always a big question. तो ये इसी ज्ञान से, you know, it must have been
Yes,
some
same
direct
process,
knowledge
same
of it in
process.
that.
And we are also going to go through that process only. We are also going to manifest omniscience knowledge one day when you will be able to see all the things of this universe, past, present, future in one moment. Okay. We all have this potential. Okay. Only it's a matter of time that we manifest it. Okay.
Sir,
Sir,
I
one
didn't
question.
understand what Malti ji said.
What?
What is that big question? What did she say?
It's we always wonder how do people know कि this happened, the Samosharan is like this was how everything evolved and all. Like इतना योजन बड़े थे, ऐसा था. So how there is no proof. We don't have a documentary proof of all this. So how I always wonder how did they know all of this? So basically, some of it they knew, some of it they estimated, some of it they connected, and that's how we get the picture what we have today.
And they develop complete knowledge, no? So
Yes,
these four steps are part of sensory knowledge. Okay. These four steps that I said, memory, connecting knowledge, logic, and estimation. These are the part of sensory knowledge. But the omniscient have omniscience knowledge. And in that omniscience knowledge, nothing is hidden. They can comprehend everything, past, present, and future. Okay. And through their sermons, the scriptures have been written. And in that, the measurement of this Jojan and all is mentioned. So that is why the proof of omniscience is very important. Otherwise, we will not be able to believe any of the things written in the scriptures. Your kid will say that scientists have proved this, scientists have not proved this. So this is not correct. So how do you answer? So you have to answer on this basis that there exists a omniscient being who has seen in his knowledge, and whatever he has seen, he has related those things in his sermons. And through these sermons, the scriptures have been written. And through the scriptures, we know that Meru Parvat is of so much yojan, the Samosaran is of so much yojan, Teen Lok, all the descriptions that are in Karna Yog, the subtleness of the karma. How do we know? We cannot see karma through our eyes. So how do we know? We know through scriptures only that there is Jnana Varan Karam, Darshana Varan Karam, these, that, so many things. So everything is based on omniscience. And that is why we are just understanding the process that how this omniscience knowledge is being proved. So somebody who knows these things, who are near to it, and somebody knows through estimation also. Like I establish the relationship between a smoke and a fire. Okay. So next time when you see a smoke, you can very well say logically that there exists a fire, because there cannot be smoke without fire. Okay. So this is the logic. Okay.
Sir,
हाँ.
yes. Sir, क्या हमारा उपयोग
हाँ.
can we apply our mind at two places at a time? Like, can I
No,
be to
never,
myself?
never.
Okay.
Even while we are driving, we
Huh.
are listening to the music also, we are talking to our friends also, and we are driving. All
Huh.
three things cannot happen simultaneously. If you are
Okay.
seeing, you are not listening. If you are listening, you are not seeing. That's why there are stringent punishment for drivers, because if they indulge in mobile phone is banned while driving. Okay. So if you talk on phone, there is some interesting conversion that you get connected to. So at that time, You are driving, your eyes are open, but you cannot see what is in front of you. And that's why all the accidents happen. A slip of just a minor slip and the accident happens because the car is already on the speed. And if you lose concentration at any point of time, chances are that you will end up having an accident. Okay. So all the five senses we are
How can
having.
we begin
Okay.
ourselves? How can we
But
begin
at
ourselves?
one moment, but in one moment, you can have object of one sense only. You can know the object of one sense only. Our upyog will get involved in one of the objects at a time. It cannot know simultaneously. Now people are doing multitasking, okay? But it is not good. Why it is not good? Because something or the other you will miss while doing multitasking. You will not be able to do justice to all the tasks. Although we boast ourselves that I am an expert in multitasking, but actually you are not. And that is why we say that you listen to the lectures only when you are free, absolutely free. You are not involved in anything. Okay. So that is the logic. Otherwise, but the modifications are so fast that in one moment it is there, the other next moment it is in some other object. You know, Todarmalji has given a very good example in Mokshmarg Prakasak that a crow, crow has two eyes, but it is having only one retina. Retina is one and eyes are two, and it keeps on rotating from left eye to right eye and right eye to left eye. And that is how the crow knows, because retina is one. We have got two eyes and two retinas. That's why even if we close one eye, we can still see from the other eye. But that is not with the crow. The crow has one retina but two eyes. But it keeps on oscillating between left eye and right eye such a fast manner that people don't realize that crow have only one retina. Okay, so that example Todarmalji gave when explaining these five senses, So our knowledge works through these five senses, but at a time it works only in one of the senses. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Since we are discussing omniscience, I admit and I realize also that there will be many questions. Okay. But we are going to understand the logic behind the development of this omniscience knowledge. Okay. So we come back to the chapter again, the 5th verse. Okay. So they gave examples of three objects. One is very minute, atoms. The next one is objects which are far from present time, like Ram, Ravan, and Mahapadma, Tirthankar. Then the third is which are distant substances like Mount Meru. Okay. So this is three examples that I've given, and the logic that they have given that 1 minute. So I'll now give you the practical example. Okay. So first we will consider the example of the minute things. Okay. So when we see big objects like cloth, mobile, laptop, we can estimate that the cloth is made up of fine threads. Okay. So many threads put together, you are able to make the cloth. So cloth consists of many threads. Okay. That are further composed by tiny particles. Okay. That is how the thread is made. And through thread, the cloth is made. So these tiny particles are invisible to our eyes. Okay. But we still see the cloth. Okay. So this is about the minute things. The one which we cannot estimate indirectly has to be known directly by someone. Okay. Which proves that such minute things are known to omniscient. So there must be some knowledge which we cannot comprehend through our eyes, but it is seen by the omniscient. So that proves that the omniscient is there. Okay. It is through their knowledge that we have known minute particles. Otherwise, this karma theory all would be zero. Without omniscient, you cannot prove existence of the karmas. Okay, because we cannot see it through our eyes. Those are very subtle things. Okay, it is only through sermons, through scriptures, that we realize the existence of karmas. Okay, so it is through their knowledge of the omniscience, that we know these minute particles of matter, parmanu, atoms, karma, one sense being we cannot know. Okay, one sense living beings. Okay, and the duration of one samay, that also we don't know. So there are several things which is only known by the omniscience. So next in the sequence was objects which are far from time. Okay, far from time. So a very good example. You know your father's name, Hemali? You know your grandfather's name? You know your great-grandfather's name? Then great-grandfather of that father. You know the name? No.
No, sir.
But you believe that it existed. That's how the generation has come, right? So
Yes, sir.
logically you believe it. But somebody who would be at that time, he knows them personally. So with this logic, so if we know someone from the past time, like Ram Ravan, or like Mahapadma, who is not right now, but he will be a Tirthankar in future, and through the scriptures only we know it. So there must be somebody who knows it directly at that point of time. So similarly, there could be a knowledge called omniscience, okay, which can know everything of the past and everything of the future and everything of the present. That is the second logic, okay. Now the third, the objects which are far in distance, like Meru Parvat, okay. So this example now we are going to see, and the same logic has been given the example of fire and smoke. Okay, so by just seeing the smoke at the mountain, we can say that there is a fire. So similarly, a person standing there on the mountain can see the fire live, right? We are knowing fire by estimation, but somebody who is standing there on the mountain, he can see the fire directly. Okay, so similarly, we are knowing objects through this estimation, like Mount Sumeru, heaven, hell, and other distant region, Nandiswar Dweep. Who has seen this Nandiswar Dweep? There is so much of description there in the scriptures about Nandiswar Dweep, that there are 52 temples which are not being made by anybody, and each temple there are so many idols, right? And heavenly being goes there to see those temples, during Ashtanika Parva. So we have to just believe through scriptures. Okay, so there is an omniscient knowledge which sees all these things simultaneously. So with three logics. The first logic of proving the general proof of omniscience is given. This is the first logic. Okay, there are 5 logics, out of which 2 are given in this scriptures, in this chapter, and the other 3 I will mention from some other sources. Okay, so the second logic now. One minute. So the first logic was that this blemishes and the material karma, this keeps on increasing and decreasing, so it could be completely eliminated. Okay, that was the first logic that was explained in the verse number 4. The second one was about the 3 objects, 3 kinds of objects: very minute, far from time, and far from distance. Okay, so this is the second logic. Now third logic. okay, which is very common. We had read about 6 common attributes, okay. Astitva, Vastutva, Dravyatva, Prametva in Balbodh. In Balbodh, we had studied about 6 common attributes, okay. Astitva is existence, then Vastutva was uh, Vastutva was the functioning of the I don't remember the English name, but Vastutva, okay. Because of Vastutva attribute, each substance do its own work, okay. The third one was Dravyatva, that there will be some state of existence of each substance, that is Dravyatva. The fourth one was knowability, Prametva Gun. And Prametva Gun proved that the object, each substance would be reflecting in the knowledge of somebody, okay. So either it is reflecting in us through our sensory and scriptural knowledge, or it will be reflected in the omniscience knowledge, okay. So every substance has these knowability attributes, okay. So every substance has knowability attribute, so there will be somebody who knows all the objects of the universe, and that is the omniscience knowledge, okay. So all the substance in the universe have a common attribute known as knowability, Prametva Gun, okay. Prametva Gun. You just go back and read Balbodh again, you will remember all the 6 attributes, common attributes, which ensures that every substance has the potential to be known by some type of knowledge at all times, okay, by some type of knowledge at all times. This means that such knowledge exists in the universe, okay, which knows all the objects, okay, and that knowledge is omniscience, okay. So this is the third logic. The fourth logic, the scriptures have described minute details of several things, okay, which we would not have known otherwise, okay. It is impossible to describe such minute things without having knowledge of it. So this goes on to prove that there exists a being who knows everything, and that is the omniscient being, okay. This omniscient being directly knows all these objects of the universe in one moment. This is the fourth logic. And the last logic is there is no limitation in nature, okay. We have this knowledge as our nature. Soul, knowledge of the nature, knowledge is the nature of soul, okay. And knowledge has no limitations, okay. So nature has no limitation, so knowledge has no limitation, which is why it can know all the things of the universe, okay. Then you might ask that we have also knowledge attribute, okay. Then why we do not know everything? Can anyone answer this question? We
Yes,
also
sir.
have knowledge attribute, but why
Yeah.
we are not able to know everything?
Sir, knowledge is something which has to come from within. अपने आत्मा पे आवरण है. That is, we have avaran of all the karmas on our atman. That's why we are into this worldly living.
Right. Very
And
good.
once slowly each and every avaran, fades away, we come nearer to the knowledge. Omniscient knowledge.
Right.
Keep coming nearer to the knowledge.
Right. So obscurement due to karmas. Okay. Obscurement due to karmas, we have the attribute of knowledge and it has the potential to manifest complete knowledge. But right now, with the obscurement due to karmas that have not allowed this nature to manifest. Nature is unlimited. Okay. Nature is unlimited. But because of the obscurement of karmas, we are not able to manifest that knowledge completely. Okay. So when this karma bondage gets destroyed, there will arise a knowledge called omniscience knowledge, in which all the objects of the universe will be reflected. Okay. So this goes on to prove that there exists a omniscient being who has destroyed all the karmas, and he knows everything in his omniscience knowledge. Okay. So 5 points. This is a part of your homework in Viva question number 3. Okay. So you have to put in these 5 logics. 2 are there in the scriptures. 2 are there in the guidebook of Tattva Gyan part 2. Okay. By Brahmachari Kalpana Ben, but it is only in Hindi. It is available in Hindi only. It has not been translated into English, but 2 other logics have been adapted from there, and 1 logic from some other scriptures. Okay. So I have compiled all the 5 together, and you can, the 4 logics are given in Tattvagyan part 2. 2 from this Devagam Stotra, and 2 she has added. Okay. And 1 from some other source. Okay. So 5 logics you have to give. So what we have proved? We have proved of omniscience. This is the general proof of omniscience, that there could be a knowledge which knows everything. Now, the second part, specific proof of omniscience. What is this specific proof of omniscience? Specific proof says that proves whether a particular individual is omniscient or not. Okay. First, we establish the knowledge of omniscience. Now we are going to establish that a person exists, a particular person exists who has got this omniscient knowledge. Okay. And that is reflected in the verse number 7. 6 and 7. Okay. 6, 7, 8. 3 verses are for there. 6, 7, 8. So first we do the 6th one. O Bhagwan, that omniscient and detached being is yourself. Okay. Saman Bhadra is giving this logic. O Bhagwan, O God, that omniscient and detached being is yours. Because, first logic, your voice is without any contradiction. Whatever you have said in your sermons, it has got no contradiction. Okay. Why there is no contradiction? Because he has manifested omniscience knowledge, and he has manifested complete detachment. Why? So when you have attachment, you can say false thing. Okay. And when you have ignorance, you can say false things. But the God has got omniscience knowledge, and he has got complete detachment. Okay. So whatever he says is all correct. Okay. He will never say a lie, and he will never have ignorance. Okay. He has manifested complete knowledge and complete detachment. Okay. So that omniscient and detached being is yourself, because your voice means your sermons, okay, is without any contradictions, as is clear from the scriptures and logic. Okay. Whatever you have said never contradicts direct and indirect knowledge. Okay. Your voice is without any contradiction. So this is the first logic. The second logic is given in 7th, that is 2a, and the third one, in the 8th verse, 2b. Okay, so there are 2 logics. So combining 2a and 2b is the second logic. So the first logic is that whatever you have given by way of sermons, that is never having any contradictions. Okay. Now, the other omniscient beings of other faith, okay, they are not true apps. They are not true God, because whatever they say, it's all contradictory. Okay. So this is the 2a logic. Let's read the verse. Those who are burning with the fire of the pride. So those people they are burning with the fire of pride of being Aps. Aps means omniscient being. Okay. Those who are burning with the fire of the pride of being omniscient being, that is, those who have thought themselves to be Aps, omniscient being, though in fact they are not. So there are people, there are heavenly beings, there are people who consider themselves as God. Okay. And in reality, they are not God. And why they are considering themselves as God? Because of their pride. They are burning with the fire of pride. They want to show that they are the greatest and all other beings are subordinate to them. Okay. So they are burning with the fire of pride and they consider themselves omniscient being. But in reality, they are not. Okay. Are quite distant from the nectar of multifacetedness of things. Okay. So those beings, those ignorant beings, they consider themselves to be omniscient being and they are with the fire of pride, they are burning with the fire of pride, and that's why they are calling themselves as God. They want other people to follow them, fall into their trap. Okay. And they are quite distant from the nectar of multifacetedness. Now, what is this multifacetedness? Our soul is only multifacetedness. Okay. The nature of our soul is multifaceted reality. Okay. So they are far from the nectar. Nectar means Amrit. They don't know who I am. Okay. They consider themselves as God, but in reality they are not. They are ordinary human being, but they don't know themselves. Okay. They don't know themselves as we know that we are also a pure soul. Okay. And our soul has infinite attributes in it right now in this ignorant stage also. The potential, we have all the attributes, okay, infinite attributes, but if we don't believe it, we are like them only. Okay. As propounded by you. So they are quite distant from the nectar of multifaceted of things as propounded by you, and believe that their wrong beliefs are true. Their belief is wrong, but they consider themselves to be God and they feel that their beliefs are true. In reality, they cannot be regarded as apts, for the nature of things as propounded by them is antagonistic. Antagonistic means contrary. Okay. Antagonistic means contrary. So whatever they preach is all with contradiction. Okay. They are opposite in nature, contradictory. Okay. And that's why they are not the real God. So one, we have established our omniscient being as the God. The second point is all the others are not real God, but they consider themselves God because they are burning with the pride of being omniscient being. This was one logic. Now the second logic, 2b. O Lord, those who are in the grip of the ghost of single-facetedness. Now, what is this single-facetedness? This single-facetedness means ekant, one-sided belief. Okay. So the soul is how is the soul? The soul is multifaceted reality. Okay. And this so-called God, they are not God, but so-called God of other faith, they are in the grip of the ghost of single-facetedness. Means their belief is one-sided, ekant. Okay. Whereas our God has anekant belief. Okay. Our God knows the multifaceted reality, multifacetedness nature of the soul, and they have depicted that in their sermons. Okay. O Lord, those who are in the grip of the ghost of single facetedness are enemies of themselves and others. Okay, so they are enemies of themselves. So they are doing bad of themselves and others because of their ignorance. They are not God, but they pretend to be themselves as God. Because in their opinion, there is no systematic other world. Other world means parlok. This universe and other. So there is no systematic other world, etc. and merits and demerit karmas. Okay. So this God, these false gods, okay, they are not gods, they are false gods. And they, in their opinion, they don't have the knowledge of everything, okay, but they consider themselves to be knowing everything. They even don't know what is merit and what is demerit, okay. So in merit, they consider as religion, but merit is again a cause of bondage, okay, and it's a cause of bondage, then it is not a cause of liberation. So all other religions takes up to merit bondage, okay, they cannot go beyond that. They're all the other religions, okay, but our omniscient God has manifested complete detachment and omniscience knowledge, and through them whatever sermons that have come through them are all true. It is never contradictory, okay. They have seen it in their knowledge and then they have told it, okay. So there cannot be any wrong description in their sermons, no contradictory descriptions in their sermons. Whatever they say is all true. But the other false gods, whatever they say is first contradictory, and the second, it is one-sided belief. Okay, it is everywhere ekant, ekant, ekant. Ekant means absolutism. Okay, like in our the in our scriptures, which has been said by the omniscient, they say that everything are relative. Okay, it is not absolute, right? But the other preachers, those who are false gods, they said that everything is absolute. Okay, and that is why there is a contradiction. Okay, so now these are the two logics to prove the specific proof of omniscience. 1, 2a, 2b. Okay, verse number 6, 7, 8. So there is nothing extra in this. So you have to just refer the textbook and you will get the thing. So your question or your homework for Viva, third question is covered here. Now, in the verse number 9, okay, what is explained? The 4 non-existence has been explained. Okay, verse number 9 and verse number 10. Okay, and 11. 9, 10, 11. These 3 words explain 4 non-existence that we covered in chapter number 7, Tattva part 1. Okay, in Tattva part 1, chapter number 7, we studied about 4 non-existence, 4 abhav. Okay, prag bhav, pradvansa bhav, anyanya bhav, and atyanta bhav. Okay, so these 4 above we have already studied, so I'm not going to explain in detail. Okay, you refer to that chapter or you refer to that lecture for that. Okay, these are the part of this verse, and that 4 absence has come from these scriptures. Okay, oh Lord, if we accept the exclusive existence, okay, exclusive existence means sarvatha sadbhav. Okay, exclusive means sarvatha. Okay, Oh Lord, if we accept the exclusive existence of the substance, we will have to uphold that there is nothing like non-existence. Okay. If we don't accept non-existence of things, all the substance will become universal and eternal. Okay. So non-existence also is an attribute of the soul. As existence is an attribute of the soul, non-existence is also an attribute of the soul. Okay. So if we don't accept this non-existence of things, then all the substance will become universal and eternal. All the substance will mix with each other and will become universal and eternal, having no separate existence of any, which is not acceptable to you. Okay. So this is the first logic. The second, if we accept the non-existence of prag bhav, absence of the present modification in the former one of a substance. Okay. Do you remember milk, curd, and buttermilk? Example, you remember? Anyone remembers or not? Or everyone has forgotten?
Vaguely, yes, sir. We do understand. You would explain it in detail.
So, milk, curd, and then buttermilk. Okay. Doodh, dahi, and chas. Okay. So, this prag bhav. So, what we would consider first? We would consider the middle one as the first. Okay. So, curd. So, in curd, there is absence of milk. And in curd, there is absence of buttermilk. Okay. So this is prag bhav and pradvansa bhav. Okay. I don't remember the English names.
Pradvansha. How do you say it? Pradvansha.
So it is there in chapter number 7 of Tattvagyan 1. Just a minute. I'll tell you the all 4 names. So again, you can reconnect. If you have Tattvagyan 1 in front of you, you can just see it. Okay. So 4 types of non-existence, char above. Okay. Prior non-existence, prag bhav. Okay. Then future non-existence, that is pradvansa bhav. Then mutual non-existence, that is anyonya bhav. And absolute non-existence, atyant abhav. Okay, these are the 4. So if we accept the non-existence of prag bhav, prior non-existence, which says that absence of the present modification in the former one of a substance, all the manifestation of substance will become eternal. Okay. The second one, pradvansa bhav, future non-existence. Likewise, if we don't accept pradvansa bhav, non-existence of the present modification in the future modification of a substance, all the modifications of all the substance will be without and. Okay, will be without and. So these 2 are covered. Now next 2 will be covered in the next verse, verse number 11. If we don't recognize anyonya bhav is mutual non-existence, which shows that the present modification of a matter substance cannot disturb at all the present modification of other matter substance. Okay. So this mutual non-existence is applicable to only matter substance. Okay.
Sir, I have this doubt, sir. Pragbhav and Pradvansabhav, the definitions are with respect to the present modification or with respect to past or future modifications. This is the confusion. So, for example, Pragbhav, is it the absence of present modification in the past modification or absence of past modification in the present modification?
Absence of present modification in the past.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
I thought
And
that both.
absence of present. So we have to take the present stage. We have to take curd in between. Okay. So curd, in the curd, there is absence of milk.
So
Or we can
absent.
absence of curd in the milk.
Hmm.
Curd we have to take first. Okay.
Of milk
So,
in the curd. Absence of milk in the curd. Na? Present modification is milk curd. So
huh.
absence is absence of milk in curd. And there is absence of buttermilk in curd.
So see, you say either way, right? But we have to consider the present modification first. Otherwise, we will get confused. Okay. So the present modification is curd. Okay. So we have to say that in curd, okay, there is absence of milk. And in curd, there is absence of buttermilk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is what I was
Huh.
saying.
Huh.
In absence of milk and absence of buttermilk.
Huh. Okay. So we had considered around 7-8 examples in that chapter. Okay. You can just revisit that and clarify your doubts. Okay. So if we don't recognize Anyonya Bhav, which shows that the present modification of matter substance at all cannot disturb at all the present modification of other matter substance, all the visible matter substance will assume one shape only. And the last one, in the present. And if we do not recognize Atyanta Bhav, complete non-existence of one substance into other, all the substances will be eternally one and will not be able to be described. Okay. So the separate existence of all substance has to be recognized, has to be accepted. Okay. So these 3 words were about the 4 non-existence: prior non-existence, future non-existence, mutual non-existence, and absolute non-existence. Okay. So this was the second part. Now the third one. Now the third verse number 12. Okay. 12 is left. Okay. So we have described the 4 types of non-existence in 2 verses. Verse number 10, 11. In 12, okay. In the 12th one, it is being said, how will the Abhav Ekant Vadis, those who are having a one-sided belief, okay, how will the above Ekantvadis establish their own opinion and find fault with those of others in the absence of the reliability of consciousness and speech? Okay. Consciousness is knowledge and speech is the speech of the Vani, Vachan. If existence is treated as altogether non-existence, okay, there is a question mark. If existence is treated as altogether non-existence, therefore, absolute non-existence is also not correct. Okay, so this abhav ekantvadis. Okay, I will read the Hindi one. I think it will be more clear. Verse number 12. What the above ekantvadis believe? Okay, those who are having a false belief, भाव का सर्वथा अभाव मानने वाले अभाव एकांतवादियों के भी ज्ञान और वचनों की प्रामाणिकता के अभाव में, ओके, वे स्वमत की स्थापना और परमत का खंडन किस प्रकार करेंगे? अतः अभाव एकांत भी ठीक नहीं है. ओके, so if you believe in the one-sided belief of non-existence, then that also is not correct. Okay, so there are 4 types of non-existence, okay, that people of the other religion or false religion believe. Okay, and they are being referred here as Abhav Ekant Vadiya. They believe in absolute non-existence. Okay. But what we believe existence as well as non-existence, both. Okay. So from some angle, a soul exists, and from non-self angle, the soul does not exist. Okay. That will be explained in the next 3-4. Okay. So 12th one, we will see it once again. How will the above Ekantvadi establish their own opinions and find fault with those of others in the absence of the reliability of consciousness and speech, if existence is treated as altogether non-existence? Okay. Just because they believe that existence is altogether non-existence, okay, then their belief is wrong. Okay. How can their belief be correct? Okay. Therefore, absolute non-existence is also not correct. Okay. Now the 13th one. What is mentioned in 13th one? If somebody, in order to save himself from the defects of both only existence, bhavekant, and only abhavekant, accepts ubhay ekant. What is this ubhay ekant? Ubhay ekant means those who are having the wrong belief of both bhav ekant also and abhav ekant also, they are called abhav ekant. Okay. So there are 4 kinds of false believer. First one was abhav ekant, then bhav ekant, then ubhaya ekant. Okay. And then there is one avachya ekant. So these are the 4 wrong believers. If you have this guide of Tattvagyan Vivechika, okay, this one, Hindi, it is in Hindi, but these has been very nicely explained here. There is no English translation available.
Sir, 4 types. Can you just repeat, sir? Bhav, abhav, ubhav, and 4th one?
Bhav, bhav ekant, abhav ekant, ubhay ekant, ubhay ekant. One minute.
Ubhay.
Avache ekant. Avache ekant.
1 minute. Avachya ekant, 236. I'll give you the exact words. So bhav ekant is the first one. Then abhav ekant, then ubhay ekant,
Ubhay ekant.
and avachya ekant.
Avachya.
Avachya means that cannot be expressed by speech. Avachya. वचन से कह नहीं सकते. It's called avachya. Okay. I will give you the English names also for this. Okay. Bhav ekant. So ekant is absolutism, and bhav ekant means existence and absolute existence. Okay. So the name of bhav ekant would be absolute existence, absolute non-existence. Okay. Third one would be absolute existence cum non-existence. And the fourth one would be avachya ekant, means that which cannot be expressed. So now we come to the last principle called sevenfold predication, Sapt Bhangi. Sapt Bhangi, it has got 7 viewpoints. Bhangi is nothing but viewpoint. Okay. So there are 7 types. What can be said about the object? There are 4 things. There are 3 things. Okay. And what cannot be said about the object? There are 4 components to it. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay. So what can be said about the object? So there are 3 components to that. First one is, just a minute. Not this one. Okay. I'll give you the English names. sevenfold predication. So existence can be said, okay, and non-existence can be said, and existence and non-existence both can be said, but one after the other. There is a limitation to speech. When a speech, when you talk, you can talk from one perspective only. So if you are discussing existence, you cannot discuss non-existence simultaneously. Okay. So there are three conditions of what can be said about the object. Okay. Object here is soul. What can be said about the soul and what cannot be said about the soul. Okay. So these are the three components. Existence can be said, non-existence can be said, existence and non-existence both can be said one after the other. When we say that substance is inexpressible, something cannot be said about the substance, then we get four situations. Both existence and non-existence cannot be said together. Next, fifth one, existence and can be said, but at the same time, the entire substance cannot be expressed. We are expressing only one part of the substance, one attribute of the substance, and that is existence attribute. So existence can be said, but at the same time, entire substance cannot be expressed. The third part, okay. The third part is non-existence can be said, but at the same time, the entire substance cannot be expressed. Okay. And the last one, existence and non-existence both can be said one after the other. Okay. But at the same time, the entire substance cannot be expressed. Okay. So these are sevenfold predications. This we will do next week. Okay. So from 12 to 16, we will do again in our next class. And this principle is also very good. Sevenfold predication, Saptabhangi. Okay. And this has been explained here. Okay. So you have a separate topic of this in Sem4, but right now this is part of this chapter, but nevertheless we will understand it in detail in the next class. Okay. And then we will move on to the last chapter, principal cause and instrumental cause, Nimit Upadan. Okay. So you have Nimit Upadan, a chapter in this Tattwagyan part 2, chapter 4. Okay. Substantive and instrumental causes. And you have a separate book on Nimit Upadan, which is in Hindi, which has not been printed in English, but it has been translated. Okay. So that we have the translation in place, and that I will share next today itself. I will share. Okay. And that you can refer. So first we will be doing it from Tattwagyan part 2, chapter 4, and then we will refer that book also. Okay. So that is a book on exclusively on Nimit Upadan. Okay. So that is also part of our syllabus. So that also we will refer. Okay. And then there is another book called Nimit Upadan Doha. Okay. Everyone must have received it in Hindi. That is also not available in English, but the translations are going on, and hopefully within the next 15 days that also will be translated. So that also I will share then and there. So initially we will complete this Devagam Stotra next week. Then we will start Nimit Upadan. I will share a chart, and from chart we will understand next week. Then we will refer chapter 4 of this Tattwagyan part 2. Then we will refer that Nimit Upadan exclusive book, and then we will see this small book of Doha. Okay. So it's going to be another 3-4 weeks. Okay. And we will complete the syllabus by then. But as far as Viva is concerned, your question number 3 of Viva is covered today. Okay, so you can start writing, and I have given a deadline of 6th, no, I think 6th December, right? So I will stick to that deadline. Okay, although you
Oral is oral, no? We
no,
don't,
this is given last week only.
no, it has to be written or it can be given in an oral form.
Yeah, you have to first write it and then given in a oral form. Even you can mark in the textbook and say orally also. You have to, Viva is oral only, so you have to send it through voice message to me personally. Okay. So 2 questions were already covered earlier, and 3rd question is covered today. So you can start attempting Viva, and then concept clarity paper 3. Okay, that will be Nimit Upadan only. Okay, so that we will start from next week. So by the time you finish this assignment, the next assignment will come up. Okay, and then in January, we will have objective exams of paper 1, 2, 3. So we have 1.5 months till 1 month and 7 days to go. Okay, so by that time we will complete the syllabus. Okay, I hope you will have some confusions in Saptabhangi, so that we will do it again next week. And regarding 4 non-existence, you refer to the Tattwagyan part 1, chapter 7, and corresponding lecture also. I will try to tell you which lecture number would be that. So that was also a very interesting topic. You refer it again and you will be able to understand. Okay.
So we have this Anekantvad, right? So we have different perspectives for every substance, every attribute. So why do we have to then go around to say other gods are fake, they are not true gods? Why should we go like that? This is one thing which is like very strange.
See, you have to accept the truth, then you have to also negate the false. Okay. So we have due respect to them because all are gods. Even they are also gods. Okay. All souls are gods. So from that perspective, everyone is God. But having said that, we want to get liberated. So we have to understand the truth. And when we understand the truth, we have to also negate what is not truth. Okay. If we keep it as it that it is existing, then we will not have conviction of truth. To have conviction, we have to negate the untruth also. Okay. So you may feel that why we are discarding others' faith and all. But when you want to understand correct faith, you have to know what is not correct also. Then only you will have the true conviction.
Right. Thank you.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how can we go about like this? As things are happening simultaneously for me and Payalji.
See, you are.
We'll talk about this later.
We will be covering that in the fast track classes. Okay.
No, I'm not talking about the fast track classes. This class, how will we do it? How will we do exams?
You will have time. Okay. Let's discuss in the afternoon about that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. Jai Jinendra, sir.
Jai Janendra.
Jai Jinendra to all.
निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जीनवाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है, उसके लिए जीनवाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार